like a good place for a cigar, Jim. I don't think I've been over there for a while.
That's right. That's right.
Maybe that'll help keep the mosquitoes away.
There you go. Keep a few of them burning around me.
I live in the desert. We don't get them very often. I get them when somebody has a green pool in my neighborhood, and it's really annoying. Because we don't have it naturally, and then I can't sit out and enjoy my patio.
Right, right. I'm gonna buy one of those foggers. Have you seen those foggers? I guess they work for about 6 hours. That's what they say anyway.
Can you put it up? All right, Mr. Chair, we're up and running. We should be good to go.
Good. Do we have a quorum?
Yes, we do, Mr. Chair.
Okay, thank you, Angie. So I would like to call to order the San Bernardino County Local Agency Formation Commission meeting for September 15th, 2021. I have a statement that I'm going to read before we call the roll. This meeting will proceed as a teleconference in compliance with the waivers to certain Brown Act provisions under the governor's executive order in response to the COVID-19 state of emergency. The agenda provides members of the public the ability to provide comment with participating via Zoom, video conference, or Zoom via phone by either clicking the raise hand button on the Zoom browser or the Zoom app for those using Zoom via phone. You can raise your hand by pressing *9. Comments and testimony are limited to 3 minutes. Additionally, the agenda also informs members of the public that they may submit written comments by mail, email, or online through the commissioner's website's public comment link no later than 7 a.m. on the day of the meeting. These comments and testimony will be read into the meeting record at an appropriate time. At this time, we can now proceed. And I would ask the clerk of the board, please call the roll.
Thank you, Chair, Mr. Chair. Good morning, Commissioners. Commissioner Baca.
Baca present.
Commissioner Bagley.
I'm here.
Commissioner Cox. Commissioner Curatello.
Here.
Commissioner Dameyer.
Present.
Commissioner Dennison.
Dennison here.
Commissioner Farrell.
Yes, here.
Commissioner Hagman. Commissioner McCowan.
Here.
Commissioner Rao. Commissioner Warren. Thank you.
All right, if you would, I'll mute your microphones and join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I have an announcement I'm going to read. Anyone who's present at the hearing today, who's involved with any of the changes of organization to be considered, who's made a contribution of more than $250 in the last 12 months to any member of the commission will be asked to state for the record the commission member to whom the contribution has been made and the matter of consideration under which they were involved. Do we have any such declarations? If not, I will move on. Before we move to the next part of the agenda, I have one more statement to make on the manner in which the commission will consider items during the meeting today. I will first call on the staff to make a presentation for the next item on the agenda. Following the staff's presentation, I will call on the commissioners who have comments or questions for the staff. I will ask the commission clerk whether any members of the public have submitted written comments to an item, as well as anyone who's on the video conference or by phone wishing to make a comment. Each member of the public will have 3 minutes to make a comment. I will then come back to the commission to see if there's any further discussion. If the item is an action item, I will ask for a motion and request that the commissioner making the motion or second identify themselves. It's very important because we are in the video conference format. Finally, I will ask the commission clerk to do a roll call vote. First item of business we have today, I will move on to the consent calendar. The following consent calendar items are expected to be routine and non-controversial. They will be enacted upon by the commission without discussion unless there's a request that has been received prior to the hearing to discuss the matter. Are there any consent items deferred for discussion?
Mr. Chair, there has been no request to pull any item on the list of consent items. However, I would like to make note of one minor change to the minutes. For item 17, this is on page 5 of 6. Commissioner Curtalo's motion was to take item 1 as recommended and as outlined in the staff report. But for item 2, Commissioner Curtalo nominated Commissioner Cox for district member representative for the LAFCO board. So that should, in this case, that should say Commissioner Curtalo moves to approve staff recommendation for item 1, and item 2 nominates Commissioner Kimberly Cox as the Southern Region District member for the LAFCO Board of Directors. Second by Commissioner McCallum. And then the rest stay the same.
Yeah, thank you, Sam. So when I ask for a motion, we'll ask for the minutes to be amended as a part of that motion. At this time, I would ask the clerk of the commission, are there any written comments submitted for any of the consent items?
None received.
Okay. We'll now call on the public on Zoom who wish to speak on any of the consent items. Please raise your hand button, or for those via Zoom, via phone, please press *9. Do we have any requests to speak? Seeing no requests to speak, at this time, I'll entertain a motion for the consent items as amended.
So move. I can second.
Very good. So I have a motion by McCallum and a second by Aquina. Thank you. Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Commissioner Baca,
Aye.
Commissioner Bagley,
Yes.
Commissioner Farrell,
Yes.
Commissioner Curtalo,
Curatello, aye.
Commissioner Hagman. I see his picture there. Commissioner Hagman? You're on mute, Commissioner Hagman. Okay, I'll come back to Commissioner Hagman. Commissioner McCallum?
Yes.
Okay. Commissioner Warren?
Aye.
Thank you. Commissioner Hagman?
He's busy doing something else.
Sorry
Okay.
out there.
All right.
Okay.
So all items on the consent calendar pass. And we
Thank
will,
you.
This concludes the consent items. We'll now move on to the public hearing portion of our agenda today. And I would ask for the staff on item 8. This is a consideration of CEQA exemption for LAFCO 3250 and a review of consideration of LAFCO 3520, which is an annexation proposal to the Bighorn Desert View Water Agency and its improvement zones 1 and A. I will now open the public hearing and ask staff to make a presentation.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. Let's go to the next line, Hannah, please. LAFCO 3250 is, as the chair had mentioned, an annexation proposal submitted by the Bighorn Desert View Water Agency at the request of the property owner. This one is very similar to the one you reviewed and considered at your July hearing. This is to provide water service to a property owner's existing residence, this time on a 10-acre parcel located on the west side of Landers Lane between Winters Road and the natural extension of Napa Road. The parcel is currently not within the agency's boundary, therefore annexation to the agency is required in order to receive water service. With regards to the boundaries, There are no boundary concerns related to this proposal since annexation is required in order to receive water service, and the parcel is actually adjacent to the agency's boundaries. With regards to land use, the annexation to the Bighorn Desert View Water Agency has no direct impact on land use. Therefore, there are no land use concerns related to this proposal. And for the plan for service, water will be provided to the parcel using a 1-inch service line extension from the agency's existing water main in Rainbow Drive. The agency has also identified an estimated cost of approximately $15,764 for the water service connection. Can everyone still hear me?
Yes.
I can hear you fine, so.
Yes.
All right. I think I lost my computer screen just froze, so apologize for this. So for
This time we
environmental
hear
review,
you. Want to pause for a minute? That's fine. Did you get your computer screen?
oh, let me see what's going on here.
We hear you fine.
I will just proceed as long as you hear me. So the agency has estimated, like I said, a total cost of $15,000 and change. And for environmental review, the commission's environmental consultant has indicated that the LAFCO 3250 is exempt from CEQA. And this is based on the fact that the annexation of the parcel will not result in any physical impacts on the environment. And finally, this proposal has 100% landowner consent. Therefore, with regards to the waiver of protest proceedings, we have 100% landowner consent to the annexation, and none of the affected agencies have submitted any written opposition to the waiver. Staff is recommending that the commission waive the protest proceedings for LAFCO 3250. So to recap, LAFCO 3250 was submitted to provide water service to the existing residents on the 10-acre parcel that is not within the agency's boundary. Therefore, annexation is required in order to receive water service. Staff supports approval of LAFCO 3250. And the recommendations are on page 1 of the staff report, which should be on the slide, which I don't see. Hopefully it's there. Approve LAFCO, certify that the CEQA exemption for LAFCO 3250. Approve LAFCO 3250 with the conditions outlined in the resolution, including the hold harmless clause, and waive protest proceedings with 100% landowner consent, and adopt LAFCO resolution 3336. That ends my presentation for this item. I'll be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Do the commissioners have any questions of staff? Hearing none, I will ask the commission clerk, do we have any written comments that have been submitted on this item?
None received.
Okay, thank you. I will now call on the public on Zoom who wishes to speak on this item. Please click the raise hand button for those of you who are on Zoom via the application, or *9 if you are on the phone. Do we have any requests to speak on this item? All right, at this time, I'm going to close the public hearing for item number 8 and bring it back to the commission for deliberation or any further discussion. Is there, Sam, is Bighorn here or anybody else who wishes to speak on this item?
I'm not sure, Mr. Chair. Again, I can't see anybody. I can't see my screen right now. So hopefully, Mike, can you see if Marina is there or somebody
I
from
see that the property owner is there, not aware if Marina West, the general manager, is present.
Well, the property owner, you're certainly welcome to comment if you would like, but this should be a fairly non-controversial item.
I'm the property owner. Can you hear me?
Yes, please. Welcome to LAFCO.
Yes. Yeah, I'm here. That's all I was going to say. Marina said she would be here. Maybe she's on mute.
No, we're glad to have you here as the applicant for this proposal for an annexation. So thank you.
Okay, thank you for hearing it.
Mr. Chair, this is Supervisor Hagman. I apologize, I had technical difficulties getting in earlier, but I'll move it.
Okay. I have a motion from Supervisor Hagman.
Second from Steve.
I have a second from Commissioner Farrell. Madam Clerk, will you please call the roll?
Yes. Commissioner Baca,
Aye.
Commissioner Bagley,
Aye.
Commissioner Curatello,
Curatello, I.
Commissioner Hagman,
Hagman's aye.
Commissioner McCowan,
Yes.
Commissioner Warren,
Yes.
Commissioner Farrell.
Yes.
Thank you.
All right, we're under the public hearing items. I'm going to move on to item number 9. Item number 9 is consideration of a CEQA exemption for LAFCO service contract number 469 and a review of LAFCO service contract 469. I will now open the public hearing and ask the staff for a presentation.
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. The City of Redlands, on behalf of the property owner, has submitted an application for commission review requesting authorization to provide water service outside its corporate boundaries as required by Government Code 56133. The parcel to be served is generally located at the northeast corner of Mentone Boulevard and Turquoise Avenue, which is currently an existing unfinished commercial building that is yet to be opened, Tom's Burger fast food restaurant. This next slide is a picture of the existing structure taken from the intersection of Mentone Boulevard and Turquoise Avenue that has been unfinished since it was constructed in 2008. At that time of the development, the requirement was to connect to both water and sewer service. As many of you are aware, the city's Measure U, which was approved by its voters in 1997, not only requires the out-of-agency service agreement for service outside its boundaries, but the measure also requires the payment of the required or the in lieu of development impact fees, as if the project was being developed in the city. So back then, the required in lieu of development impact fees for both the water and sewer service totaled over $500,000. And so at the time, the property owner opted not to move forward with its project due to the required fees. And so this building has sat vacant since then. The property owner now has again been working with the county and the city regarding the unfinished project, including reducing capacity of the drive-through restaurant, which has removed the requirement to connect to sewer, and that has lowered the cost to the property owner significantly. So the city's application outlines the plan for service, which will require a lateral extension on the west side of the property to connect to the existing 12-inch water main in Turquoise Avenue. And the city's application also outlines the total of approximately $55,500 and change for the in lieu of development impact fees, as well as water fees. And that breakdown of fees is on page 3 of the staff report. Staff has reviewed this request for the provision of water service by the City of Redlands outside its boundaries against the criteria established by commission policy and state law. The parcel to be served is within the sphere of influence for the city of Redlands and is anticipated to be part of their city at some point in the future. The commercial structure on the parcel requires connection to the city of Redlands water facilities, and staff supports the city's request since its existing water infrastructure is adjacent to the parcel. Staff recommends that the commission approve LAFCO service contract 469 by taking the recommended actions on page 1 of the staff report, which should also be on the display. And for environmental review, certify the CEQA exemption for LAFCO SC 469, approve LAFCO service contract 469, authorizing the city of Redlands to extend water service outside its boundaries to assessor parcel number 0298 094 21 and adopt LAFCO resolution 3337, setting forth the commission's determinations and approval of the agreement for service outside of the city of Redlands boundaries. That ends my presentation. I'll be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Do any of the commissioners have questions for the staff on this item? Hearing none, I will ask the commission clerk, were there any written comments submitted on this item?
None received.
All right, thank you. I will now call on the public on Zoom who wish to speak on this item. Please raise your hand button for those of you who are on the application, and *9 if you are on the phone. Do we have any requests to speak? Hearing and seeing no requests for speak, I will at this time, I'm going to close the public hearing for item number 9 and bring it back to the commission for deliberation.
Mr.
Mr. Chair, Supervisor Hagman moves.
Okay, I have a motion by Supervisor Hagman,
Curatello will second.
and I have a second by Commissioner Curatello. Is there any further discussion on the item? If not, I will ask the clerk of the commission to please call the roll.
Commissioner Baca,
Aye.
Commissioner Bagley,
Yes.
Commissioner Curatello,
Curatello, aye.
Commissioner Hagman,
Hagman, aye.
Commissioner McCowan,
Yes.
Commissioner Warren,
Yes.
Commissioner Farrell.
Yes.
Thank you.
This concludes our public hearing portion of the meeting today, and we will now move on to the discussion items. Item number 10 is the commission's continued monitoring related to the service review of the public cemetery districts. This one is specific to the 29 Palms Cemetery District. I will now ask the staff to please make a presentation.
This next item is the update on the 29 Palms Public Cemetery District sustainability, which is an outgrowth of our commission's December 2020 service review for public cemetery districts. Last May, staff noted that the district staff has made headway in governance training, general upkeep, correcting structural deficiencies, and health and safety improvements. We also noted that the district was current in all its audits. However, there were some items that were outstanding from the May update that is being identified in this month's update. There was an issue regarding not having a legal counsel regularly. The district has now contracted or is contracting with BB&K for legal counsel services. It was noted that the cemetery lacks a volunteer Friends of Cemetery group. The district is continuing to work on getting some of the community members involved in the cemetery district. And it was also noted that the GM was reviewing old policies and procedures. The district now has a policy committee tasked to review policies and procedures, incorporating the district's current policies with the goal of having final policies approved by June 2022, not 2021. That is a typo on the staff report. That should be June 22. That will become effective July 2022. And finally, it was also noted that the district is seeking to fill an open seat on the board. This update identifies there will be 2 seats actually that will be available at the beginning of the year. And the district is doing everything to put the word out. So hopefully they'll get some fine candidates to fill the 2 board positions early next year. In conclusion, the district is current in all the required governance matters, such as the budget and the audits. There is good movement in all of the items raised previously. And with that, LAFCO staff is recommending, aside from receiving and filing the report, that the commission cease monitoring of the 29 Palms Cemetery District unless otherwise directed by the commission. That ends my presentation. Mr. Chair, I'll be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Do the commissioners have any questions of staff at this time? Do we have any comments from the 29 Palm Cemetery District? I'd ask the staff, is anybody present from the cemetery district online?
Mike, can you see? Again, I can't
Yeah,
see.
there is somebody present. It just says 29 Palm Cemetery.
Well, this is an opportunity for them to speak, but it's not required. Recommendation that we have. Do any of the commissioners have comments of staff or questions?
Hold on, I actually, Sam, I do see a hand up for the cemetery district.
All right.
Can
Mike.
you hear me?
Hi.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Oh, hi, this is Emily Helm. I am the general manager at the 29 Palms Public Cemetery District. And I appreciate all of the work that LAFCO has done in helping and guiding us to achieve all of our goals that we have set out so far to accomplish. The Friends of the Cemetery is a nonprofit. At this time, I don't have anybody on my board that has any nonprofit experience. So one of the things that we will be looking for in our 2 new board members will be hopefully bringing to the table. I have a viable candidate who is a CPA. She's also the CFO at the Copper Mountain College, and she is putting her application in, so she will help oversee the financial aspect of our cemetery. And then I'm still looking in the community for a potential board member that has nonprofit experience to help us launch our Friends of the Cemetery. And I think that's it as far as if anybody has any questions for me.
Are there any commissioners that have questions for Emily Helm for the 29 Palm Cemetery District? Thank you, Emily, for being here today. You've made lots of progress, lots of good things happening there. I hope you will continue on that path.
Thank you, Jim.
At this point, I'll ask the clerk, do we have any written comments submitted on this item?
None received?
We'll now ask the public on Zoom who wishes to speak on this item. Please raise your hand if you're on the application or press *9 if you are on the phone. Do we have any requests to speak?
One hand, Mr. Chair.
Okay.
Gregory Hildreth.
Hi, good morning. This is actually Commissioner Cox. Not sure why it's showing up under my husband's name, but I'm wondering if I could be moved to the commissioner side of the presentation.
Can we get Commissioner Cox? Can you email her the link really quick so we can get her into the hearing?
Hannah, I can't see anything. Can you please move Commissioner Cox?
Okay, you want me to log off and log back
No,
on?
just stay Commissioner Cox.
Okay.
So staff, you can just confirm when she's on, then I'll ask for a.
Yeah, we'll make sure that she's transferred over.
Yeah.
And I apologize, Commissioner Cox, I can't see anything on my screen, so I apologize. We'll have staff move you over.
Okay, I'm here now. It still says, doesn't have my name posted.
So we are on item number 10. It's the discussion item, and bring it back to the commission for deliberation or a motion.
Ken will move the item.
Second,
Hagman, second.
Okay, so I have a motion by McCallum and a second by Warren on item number 10, the 29 Palm Cemetery District. I ask the clerk to please call the roll.
yes, Mr. Chair. Commissioner Baca,
Buckeye,
Commissioner Bagley,
Yes.
Commissioner Cox,
Aye.
Commissioner Curatolo,
Curtello, I.
Commissioner Hagman,
Hagman, aye.
Commissioner McCowan,
Yes,
Commissioner Warren.
yes,
Thank you.
All right, we are on item number 11 of the discussion items. This is the commission's continued monitoring associated with the fire service review. This one is specific to the Barstow Fire Protection District in the city of Barstow. This item is being continued to the November meeting. I don't believe that we really need to do anything with this other than a staff recommendation. Do I need a motion to do so?
Yes, sir.
All right, well, I would ask, are there any questions of staff before I ask for the motion? Is there anyone present who has logged on to comment on this item today? Have we received any written requests to speak?
None received?
All right, well, I'll turn it over to the commission. This recommendation is to continue this item until November. I would ask for a motion from the commission.
I'll move the item.
Hagman, second.
Okay, so I have a motion by Commissioner Cox and a second by Commissioner Hagman. Clerk, will you please call the roll for us?
Commissioner Baca,
Buckeye,
Commissioner Bagley,
Yes.
Commissioner Cox,
Aye.
Commissioner Curatolo,
Curtello, I.
Commissioner Hagman,
Hagman, aye.
Commissioner McCowan,
yes,
Commissioner Warren.
aye,
Thank you.
Very good. That concludes our discussion items. I'm now going to move on to the information items. Item 12 is the legislative update report. Sam?
Thank you again, Mr. Chair. I have nothing much to report on the legislation at this time. I just want to note that a number of bills that were being tracked by LAFCO, including this commission's pilot program bill, SB 13, have now been enrolled and are waiting for the governor's signature. Last day for the governor to sign or veto a deal is October 10th. So that is my ledge report for today. If there are any questions, I'd be happy to answer at this time.
Any commissioners have questions on the legislative update? If not, Sam, we'll just move into the executive officer's oral report.
Yes, thank you. I just want to remind the commission that our next scheduled meeting will be on November 17th. I will continue to coordinate with the chair to see if our meeting in November will still be in Zoom or if we can finally do it in person. But in the meantime, I want to thank the commission for its patience and understanding. Next, the LAFCO board made a difficult decision to cancel the annual conference again this year. Staff already gave a heads up to those who were planning to attend the conference. However, the annual business meeting will still move forward, just like last year, as a virtual meeting. And the board election will also be held by electronic vote, which was done via email to the voting delegate. Fortunately, at the last meeting, the commission already assigned a chair to cast its ballot for the board member election, as well as to cast any ballot on any matters brought up at the annual business meeting. So there is no need to take any additional actions at this time. The agenda and login information for the annual business meeting was sent out last Friday. I'll be providing that information as soon in the next day or so. And by the way, I will send out the additional information on the CalAFCO conference, such as the webinars that sessions that are going to be turned into webinars in the coming days. So,
excuse me, Sam.
Yes, Commissioner Warren.
Sam, yeah, as you are aware, I sit on LAFCO, and I'll tell you that was a very difficult decision, but there was a matter of people really not signing up with this COVID Delta thing going on, and we were fortunate not to lose our deposit and move it to another time period next year. So let's just hope that things calm down around here and we can finally meet in person.
Thank you, Commissioner Warren. That is actually an important point. The CalAFCO was going to lose about $30,000 if they move forward because of the lackluster attendance. So I think being able to move it to the next year without any penalty was a good thing. So thank you for all your work, Commissioner Warren.
The commissioners have questions for staff or for Sam on the executive officer's report.
Oh, I just have one more thing, Commissioner, Mr. Chair, I forgot. I want to inform the commission that at the August 31st consolidated mail ballot election, the ballot measure for the Apple Valley annexation failed miserably, with 1 vote cast for the reorganization and 13 votes cast against the reorganization. Again, there was definitely a lackluster turnout of ballots. Nonetheless, I will be issuing the certificate of termination on Monday. Last but not least, I was just informed that the city of 29 Palms, by unanimous vote, did take an action, a resolution to request the commission to do a service review for the overall 29 Palms community and the overlapping agencies, which includes the city, the water district, as well as the cemetery district. And so that is a potential or an application that will have associated fees that will be coming our way. And once we receive that, we will be taking that to the commission for initiation, hopefully at the November meeting. So that ends my staff report, my EO report for this month, and I'll be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Does the commission have any questions or comments on Sam's report? I just want to thank Commissioner Warren for stepping up to be on the CalAFCO board, and it's really disappointing that we canceled again. I think these are really vital opportunities for us to network statewide and go over issues. So missing 2 in a row is really a loss, I think, to all the LAFCO. So hopefully next year we'll be able to do something. So thank you.
Thank you. You're welcome. But I tell you, it's been real educational for me, as well as I think the webinars, you're going to find them very informative. That's our goal. So hopefully that helps, with the loss of the actual event.
Yeah, good. Well, thank you. We'll move on to item number 4, which is commissioner comments. Are there any commissioners wishing to make a comment at this time? Hearing no comments, I will move on to item number 15, which is related to the comments from the public on items subject matter not in the jurisdiction of LAFCO that are not on the agenda. I will ask the commission clerk, do we have any written comments submitted?
None received.
Thank you. Do we have any requests to speak on public Zoom? Raise hand button, please, on the application, or press *9 if you're on the phone. Hearing none, I will call this meeting to be adjourned, and we will meet again on November 17th. So thank you all for being here. Stay safe. We'll see you in 2 months.
All right, everyone, have a great
Thank
day.
you.
Bye, everybody.
Have a good day.
Great
Bye,
job, Jim.
everybody. Thank you,
Bye.
commissioners.
Bye.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.